You're watching, yes, the Yankees Entertainment and Sports Network.
It is another beautiful day here in Cleveland, Ohio. Another big crowd expected as it is time for baseball. And Hyundai presents the Sunday Game of the Week. Today, it's the New York Yankees against the Cleveland Indians in the final game of a 4-game set from Progressive Field here in Cleveland, Ohio. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees Baseball, along with David Cohn. I'm Michael Kay. This is the end of the first half of the season. Yankees have an opportunity to take another series. They could win 3 out of 4 against the Indians, who are in first place in the American League Central. So I thought it was a great time to sit down with Yankee manager Aaron Boone, and I asked him many questions, but one of them was the highlight of the first half of the season for him.
I think the run that we went on, where we won 17 out of 18 maybe, and against the quality of opponent we were playing, and to come home and to have a May series against the Red Sox, that was such a special atmosphere at Yankee Stadium, and the way we were winning games at that time, that was pretty fun to be a part of.
Let's talk Red Sox for a second, Aaron. You've played them 9 times. You've beaten them 5. I think that's the only 5 losses they have. Do you realize that they win all the time?
I am.
Does it annoy you?
I don't love it, but I am aware that they win every day. But it's, I'm not just saying, like, I don't worry about it that much. There's nothing we can do about that. And the bottom line is we're a long way from this being over, and we've put ourselves in a very good position to be hopefully the kind of team we think we can be in the end. But there's a long way to go, and you'll drive yourself crazy. You worry about what other teams are doing, especially this time of year. This is about taking care of us in our room and being hyper-focused on the day.
Well, he's in a great mood, very loosey-goosey. He's had a great first half, but is he telling the truth there?
It was a great answer, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, yes and no. Yes, he's telling the truth that you can't worry about what you can't control, but you notice it. And I keep saying this, and I've said this to you before, Michael. In '98, we didn't have this pressure. We had the same kind of pace going, but at the All-Star break, we knew we were going to be the division champs. There was nobody really challenging us. The Yankees don't have that luxury. You really do have that pressure. You have to win every day to keep pace.
Well, we have a lot to do here, and we're going to get it done. Ending the first half of the season, we have to find out what the pitching matchup is. I mean, you have to know that for a game. Ryan Rucco has all that information when we return right here on Yes.
everybody. Ryan Rucco welcoming you back to Progressive Field. Let's take a look at today's pitching matchup. It's brought to you by People's United Bank. For the Yankees, Masahiro Tanaka on the hill. It's Trevor Bauer having a terrific year going for the Indians. For Tanaka, it's his second start since returning from the DL. I asked Aaron Boone earlier today what stood out most to him about Tanaka's first start back from his hamstring injury.
Just that he wasn't quite built back up, but I actually thought he threw the ball pretty well. Today he should be built up even more, and looking forward to him getting out there. He's so important to us, and hopefully this is kind of that another step back into the rotation to where this can be a big building block for him going into the second half.
As far as any pitch limit goes for Tanaka, Aaron Boone said there was no strict number, but he does not see them pushing him much north of 100 pitches. It'll be Tanaka against Bauer, Yankees against the Indians. Final game before the All-Star break. We'll have lineups, first pitch in baseball with Michael and David next, right here on Yes.
By Hyundai, get a great deal more than a great deal on all new Hyundai vehicles. See your Hyundai dealer today. By the Panasonic Arc 5 Premium Men's Electric Shaver. Panasonic, shave like a pro. And by Buick, visit tristatebuick.com for great lease offers. Well, that's the scene outside Progressive Field. Inside, the Indians have taken the field, and I just checked, and there is not a cloud in the sky. Just a beautiful Sunday afternoon to end the nominal first half of the season. So Trevor Bauer takes his first warm-up, and we'll take a look at the Yankee lineup. Brought to you by Lexus. Yankees are 62-32, and they will lead off their left fielder, Brett Gardner. The DH is Aaron Judge, batting second. Hitting third, the shortstop, Didi Gregorius. In right field, it's Giancarlo Stanton cleaning up. The fifth hitter, center fielder, Aaron Hicks. Greg Bird at first base will bat sixth. Batting seventh, playing third base, Miguel Andujar. Kyle Higashioka will catch, he'll bat eighth. And batting ninth and playing second base, it's Neil Walker.
And this is the guy who they will face, Trevor Bauer, and what a first half he has had. This will be his 20th start, and in 17 of those starts, he's thrown 100 or more pitches, which leads Major League Baseball. 129.1 innings, tells you a story there. And strikeouts are up and walks are up a little bit. He's given up a lot less homers this year so far. Only 5 home runs in this first half given up by Trevor Bauer.
Let's take the defense into account. It's brought to you by Geico. You've got Brantley in left, Allen in center, Naquin over in right. In the infield, it's Ramirez, Lindor, Kipnis, and Alonso. That's third to first. Roberto Perez behind the plate. And Trevor Bauer is on the mound. Bauer, a first-time All-Star. And there is Aaron Boone, who's had a great first half in his first managerial experience here with the New York Yankees, really anywhere. And he was in a great mood before the game. He said his plans for the All-Star break, he's going to take the family to Six Flags, and then we'll go see Hamilton with his wife. So that's a full 4 days.
Yeah, he's enjoying the East Coast life now and take it on into Manhattan.
So the Indians 51-43, and the Yankees are 62-32. So Gardner is ready. Bauer is ready. And let's do it here in Cleveland. First pitch swung on and grounded foul outside of first. We're underway. Jerry Meals is the crew chief. He's behind the plate. Chris Siegel at first. Gabe Morales at second. Ed Hickox is over at third. Bauer works quickly. One of 5 Indians to make the All-Star team, and this will be his first All-Star game. That one's popped up. And Perez makes the play. Let's take a look at the game time weather presented by Bigelow Tea. 85 degrees, that's the temperature at 62% humidity. The wind 7 miles per hour. It's just a sunny, beautiful baseball day.
Another big crowd here. The Yankees in town for a 4-game set. Every single game has been filled up.
And they are still filing in. That's the line to get in, to get through the security. So close to a full house today again. That one is ripped to left field, and it's going to be over the head of Brantley. Just didn't have time to react. Judge makes a big turn, but he hit it so hard, he gets held to a single.
It's a great call, Michael. That is insane. Nobody hits the ball as hard as him. Well, maybe Stanton. This ball is just absolutely tattered. And your description of Brantley is very accurate. Almost startled by it. It almost scared him as it went over his head.
So a very hard hit long single for Aaron Judge. Here's Didi Gregorius. Gregorius loves playing against the Indians. In 17 games as a Yankee here at Progressive Field, hitting .343. 6 home runs, 11 runs batted in. He had a home run last night in the Yankees 5-4 victory. Nubbed in front of the plate, foul ball.
Seems like Didi Gregorius here in Cleveland gets some pretty good boos at this point after recent history in last postseason, and then of course yesterday as well in the first inning, a big 3-run shot that set the tone.
The 1-1. Did he hold up? Yes, he did.
Was right to the borderline at best. Easily could have gone the other way.
Bauer gets the sign. And the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Gets him. Now, we told you how hard Judge hit the ball. Now let's get some numbers. Exit velocity presented by Spectrum Internet with faster download speeds and better performance. 113.9.
I mean, that was a 15-degree launch angle. It went 327 feet in about a half a second. I kid, but it seemed like that. It was over Brantley's head in a flash.
Here's Giancarlo Stanton. All things considered, after a slow start, Stanton's first half not too bad. 23 homers, 55 ribbies, and if he mirrors last year, the second half he really took off with the Marlins. Breaking ball, strike.
The Trevor Bauer curveball. One of the best in the game today. Kind of makes sense, Michael, too. You know, when you look, you and I have talked about this stylistically speaking, pitchers throwing harder, batters getting used to higher velocities, that a good old-fashioned curveball, lower velocity, below hitting speed makes sense. It's really served Bauer well.
Fouled away. Now, yesterday, Stanton was involved in a play that got Aaron Boone ejected for the second time this year. He was hit by a pitch. Boone thought it was a foul ball. The umpires conferred. They said no, it wasn't. And it was a swing, so he got hit by the pitch and swung, and the swing supersedes the hit by pitch. And Boone kind of snapped. But then today he said, I was wrong. I looked at the replay, and they got it right. Did he go? No, he did not.
That was one of those things you never see in a baseball game before, and you know, as you described it, but Aaron Boone very much accountable, and that one I think was probably a little better than Didi's. Pretty good call right there. Strong man to hold up that swing. Nobody knew that rule, Michael. Full swing hits the hand, you're out.
2-2. In this series, David, Boone did something that you don't see managers do. He had Aaron Judge steal the other day with Stanton on deck, gets thrown out. After the game, he said, you know what, I second guessed myself. Admitted that he might have been wrong. And today he said, you know, I was wrong yesterday. I think he's very comfortable in his own skin that way.
I think it's great. You diffuse the situation before it even happens.
Two. Nice block by Perez, 3-2, so that's going to release Judge at first, 3-2 and 2 outs.
So I remember a conversation I had with Freddie Brocklander, the great old umpire, and I asked him, where was that pitch? And he said, oh, it was close. I might have missed it. And I didn't even know what to say to him. It's a similar point to Boone. You get ahead of the curve and diffuse it.
Runner goes. That one is ripped to center field. Base hit. Judge will go to third. Another rocket by the Yankees. That one a single for Stanton, first and third, and 2 men out.
Bauer delivers, and a tomahawk chop and duck.
Want to bet a nickel? Was that harder than Judge's? I think I'm going to say yes.
Yeah, that might be a good read.
115 it was. Here's Aaron Hicks. A little bit of a slump for Aaron Hicks. 1 for his last 15. He's had a nice first half of the season. Despite a couple of injuries, 16 homers and 43 runs batted in. Yankees threatening early. It's not easy lately to score on Bauer. Last 11 starts, he has a 1.72 ERA and a batting average against of 201.
With the Indians' bullpen woes, Terry Francona is more inclined to push his starters a little further.
Well, Bauer has slowed this top of the first inning to a crawl. He has really slowed down with men on base. Yankees are 3 for 3 in check swings in the first inning.
Bauer clearly frustrated. 3 check swings have gone against him in this inning. And another look.
I think that he checked that.
Yeah, I mean, he was trying to get out of the way, but the bat continued through the zone, so that easily could have been interpreted as a swing.
Three 3-0 now on Hicks. Birds on deck. Against the Yankees, including the postseason last 5, a 1.32 ERA. The Yankees have managed to beat him twice in those 5 starts. Green light or not, we'll see. How about that? He drops in a breaking ball on 3-0.
Impressive. Not going to give in. When you're facing a team like the Yankees, you know how important first blood is, allowing them, the opposition, to score first.
Three 3-1. 3-2.
This one's a slider. Mid-80s. A couple of different versions of breaking balls from Bauer. A big 12-6 curve, and that was a nifty little slider at 86.
Alonso backing up at first base, so Stanton's going to go on 3-2, 2 outs. And Judge will read it at third. And the pitch. Walked him. Ball gets away from Perez, but Judge stays put. So the bases are loaded.
For the Yankees, batting 6, number 33, the first baseman, Greg.
So an early big at bat for Greg Bird against Bauer. Bird has faced Bauer 10 times in his career with just 1 hit. But he's been hot of late. He has 5 home runs in his last 13 games. Slowly inching his numbers up to respectability after that awful start coming back from the surgery. Strike. Judge at third, Stanton at second, Hicks is at first. Ripped to right field and foul. In his last 10 at bats with runners in scoring position, Bird has 6 hits. But Bauer in control here in this at bat. He's ahead 0-2. Bird has an 8-game hitting streak coming into today, hitting .321 during the streak.
Bauer does have 10 wild pitches already this year, a career high. Likes to bounce that breaking ball when he gets ahead.
Grounded sharply, but right to Kipnis. And that'll do it. So Bauer works out of trouble. No runs, 2 hits, and the bases are left loaded. Yankees nothing, and the Cleveland Indians coming to bat. And it's brought to you by Lexus. Shortstop Francisco Lindor leads off. Batting second, the left fielder Michael Brantley. Jose Ramirez at third base will hit third. Cleaning up the DH, Edwin Encarnacion. Yonder Alonso at first base will bat fifth. Batting sixth and playing second, Jason Kipnis. It's Roberto Perez catching and batting seventh. Batting eighth, the right fielder Tyler Naquin. And Greg Allen is in center field. He's going to bat ninth.
And Tanaka-san here on the bump in Cleveland on the last day before the break. And he's the guy you kind of want. He throws strikes. He works fast. I mean, if you're in the industry, you kind of hope for a quick game, right? I think all of us would like to have a good, clean, crisp game today. So Tanaka's second start off of the rehab. It's probably never been more important to this rotation than right now moving into the second half. And we'll see how this goes.
Now Tanaka, they're going to up his pitch count to maybe just north of 100, maybe south, but right around that area. So he'll be able to give them a little bit more length than he did last time out. So this is his second start since that start at Citi Field where he scored from third and injured both hamstrings.
It was a shared burden on his legs.
Pitch to Lindor is a strike. 3 for 11 against the Yankees in the first 3 games of this series. Ground ball, second base. Right there, Walker. 1 away. Let's check out the entire Yankee defense presented by our good friends at Geico. In the outfield, Gardner, Hicks, and Stanton. That's left to right. Infield, Andujar, Gregorius, Walker, and Bird. Third and first. Higashioka behind the plate, and Tanaka is on the line. And here's Michael Brantley, one of the Indians' all-stars, hitting .308, 11 home runs and 55 ribbies. This is going to be the last incarnation of this specific Indian team. Brantley, a free agent. They're going to try to sign him. They're not ultra confident about it. Allen and Miller in the bullpen, both free agents. Probably not going to be able to pay the money that they'll command on the open market. So Indians thinking ahead to next year. They'd like to get something done this year, but their bullpen's short this year as well.
That's a great point, which makes this trade deadline even more important for the Cleveland front office.
Laced into left center field, and that is going to be caught by Gardner. before the game, the Indians All-Stars showed up their American League All-Star jerseys. Pretty cool. Now, last night during the game, Yan Gomes found out that he was making the All-Star team from the public address announcer. And you were doing that game on Fox, David, with Kenny Albert and AJ Przinsky, and I'm sitting there watching. Go, that's an odd way to do it. I mean, how's his mind going to be on that at bat?
The look on his face told a story as well, and I think you're right. Looked like he was a little perturbed. I mean, obviously surprised and grateful, but at the same time, hey, wait, I've got an important at bat here.
And that was totally orchestrated by the manager of the Indians, not the Indians front office. That's the way Terry Francona wanted to tell him. He said, I felt it was bigger than just me telling him. I wanted everybody in the ballpark to tell him. And then he looked overmatched against Aroldis Chapman. Swing and a foul ball caught on the tip by Higashioka. And the Yankees get Ramirez, who've been 5 for 9 against the Yankees in the first 3 games. Hybrid is the official hybrid vehicle of the New York Yankees. What's your favorite memory from past MLB All-Star games and why? One of our respondents, when Ted Williams was carted out on the field at Fenway Park prior to the start of the 1999 All-Star game, Williams was surrounded by every living legend of baseball you could possibly imagine. Follow Yes Network and tweet us your responses using hashtag Yankees Camry Hybrid. Keep the conversation going. One of the people surrounding him was the guy to my right, David Cohn. That must have been awesome to be there.
It was an incredible moment. There was a real sense of history and place and time in 1999, obviously, before the turn of the century, and Ted Williams in a wheelchair. And then, then in a golf cart out to the middle of the field. Ted Williams was one of those guys, Michael. He was so current. He knew all the current players. He knew exactly what their stats were, what they were doing.
He was one of those students of the game, and I was lucky enough to be there covering the event. And you know, every hair on the back of your neck stood up. It was baseball history come alive right in front of you in that ballpark that opened up in 1912, and you know, arguably the greatest hitter of all time in his ballpark, where he actually did all those great things. It was amazing. Talking about it, I still get chills.
Just a genuine love and passion for the game right to the end for Ted Williams. He wasn't a get off my lawn kind of guy. He was a very current guy. He loved the modern game. He loved the modern players. Talk baseball all day. That's when he grabbed Mark McGwire about right then and said, "Have you ever smelt burnt wood when you fouled one back?" Kind of famous line.
And McGwire did. Paul O'Neill said that he would smell burnt wood. The other day, Edwin Encarnacion did. He just put his nose to the bat. I would assume it's something that you don't want to smell because it means you just missed a pitch.
It's usually on the sweet spot part of the bat. Burnt wood is a lot better than burnt metal. Wood bats versus aluminum bats.
Yep. Three and two. Boy, are they making Bauer work. Pitch counts at 31. Starting the second inning here with a 3-2 count on Andujar. And you see the breakdown: 19 strikes, 12 balls. Did he go? Yes, he did. So Andujar down on strikes. He chased ball 4.
Up and out of the zone, and yes, you could not hold up. And Andujar, no argument.
And here is Kyle Higashioka. 2 for 11 on this road trip for the Yankees. A long road trip. 11 games. They took 2 out of 3 in Toronto. They split 4 in Baltimore, trying to take 3 out of 4 here in Cleveland. Kipnis will make the play on that pop-up. 2 away.
It's one of those days where that blue sky looks like it's a million miles away. The definition of a high sky, which is a nightmare if you're trying to catch big league fly balls. Sunglasses, it's still difficult.
Here's Neil Walker. And a strike. Yesterday, Tyler Wade got the start. So Aaron Boone mixing and matching game to game. Said today, I look at matchups, how one would do against certain pitchers. He said, I always have Wade to come in defensively if I use Walker. Popped up. Perez didn't see it, and it falls on the screen.
You get the sense that Aaron Boone likes Wade in the lineup when his pitchers are more ground ball style pitchers. Obviously, CC Sabathia known for weak contact and a lot of ground balls. Wade's got tremendous range.
And without coming out and saying it, Boone, I mean, Wade's a better defender. Wade is an outstanding plus defender.
There's a lot of people that feel like Tyler Wade's been the best defensive infielder in the organization for several years now.
2-2. Swing and a miss. Walker down on strike. So a nice bounce back inning for Bauer as the Yankees go down in order and we go to the bottom of the second. By People's United Bank, we'll lob this next pitch right over the plate. Free checking at People's United Bank, member FDIC, and by Ram Trucks, built to serve. There's a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame down by the lake. That's actually almost where the old Cleveland Stadium used to be. Right in that spot.
Yeah, inspired the great line from Dennis Oil Can Boyd. That's what they get for building the stadium by the ocean. You had a bad game, a rough game there, bad weather.
I mean, what a difference this ballpark has made for this franchise. That place was 85,000 seats. It was always empty. The Indians weren't good. Nobody wanted to play there. And then they moved here, and this is state of the art. And all these years later, David, it's still state of the art. It's a gorgeous ballpark.
Really has weathered well.
Yankees, your Yankee teams played some battles with the Indians when every game used to be sold out. With Albert Bell and Alomar and Baerga and Lofton and Tomei. What teams? Grounded to third right there, and Duhar. One away. You know, proud baseball history here in Cleveland. They've been around since 1901, but just 2 world titles, 1920 and 1948. So they've had a long period without a title. They've had their opportunities. They've been in the World Series. They were in the World Series in '54, '95, and '97, and as recently as 2016 against the Cubs, but they've been unable to get that title.
That run in the 90s was right on our heels. I mean, this was the team we looked at. They beat us in '97, obviously. Famous Sandy Alomar Jr. home run off of Mariano Rivera.
You know, we showed that home run the other night, David, on Friday, and Paul was doing the game with me, and he admitted that the ball went over his head, Alomar's home run. He never knew he threw the glove down in disgust until he saw video of it like a year later. He said it was just a natural thing. I was so upset that that ball went out.
Well, that was the game that Paul O'Neill officially got the moniker of the Warrior. And he hit the double and slid into second base and almost broke his neck. And
that was in Game 5.
I think, to truth be known, it was just a bad slide. Technically, he kind of slid too late and kind of fell, and it looked really dramatic. And George Steinbrenner loved it, called him the Warrior, and all based on just a technically bad slide, Michael.
The 1-2. You know, we joked about this with Aaron Boone during the interview that we had on the pregame, and then he talked about it with the media before the game in the dugout. You look up at the scoreboard again, David, and the Red Sox are winning again. So they're up 2-0. And he smiled and said, I don't like it. He said, but he said, nothing you could really do about it. The Yankees do what they do when they play them. They've beaten them 5 out of 9. So from June 29th to July 1st, Yankees won 2 of 3 games at Yankee Stadium against the Red Sox. So they were both tied for the AL East. Since that meeting, the Yankees are 8-5, which is not bad. Red Sox 11-1. So the Red Sox now lead the AL East by 3.5 games. Plenty of time. Still 10 games left between the two teams. And the Yankees have a relatively easy schedule the rest of the way when you look at the teams that they're going to play. That one is looped into right field, a base hit for Kipnis. How about this, David? The Yankees for the remainder after this game, the remainder of their schedule, the teams that they're playing have a .476 winning percentage. Only the Indians have an easier schedule at .460, and the Indians play in a division where they're the only team over 500. So the Yankees have gotten a lot of the heavy lifting out of the way. But, as you know, the Yankees play better against good teams than they do against teams under 500.
You know, for me, that always comes with a caveat. I mean, because a lot of those teams that are under 500, you know, tend to play better after underperforming. Look at the Cincinnati Reds now, all of a sudden how well they're playing. The Oakland A's, so you know, they're well over 500 now. So that, you know, buyer beware on those numbers. And I think recent history says more. The Red Sox got out of the gate early this year when the Yankees started 9-9, and the Yankees caught them. The Red Sox won 17 out of 19 of their first 3 weeks of the season. The Yankees caught them quickly.
Perez with a deep fly ball to right field. He didn't get all of it, though, as Stanton is there to make the play for the final out of the second. No runs a hit. One man left. We're going to go to the third. Nothing. That are going to the All-Star game in D.C. on Tuesday. Then it picks up again at the stadium. 3 games against the Mets. The Subway Series returns. Then on to Tampa Bay for 3, and back at the stadium 4 against Kansas City. And at this point, it's a good time to tell you, Aaron Boone revealed his rotation for the second half out of the break. Herman on Friday against the Mets. Gray on Saturday. Tanaka on Sunday. And then Severino and Sabathia will pitch the first 2 games against the Rays. So he's giving Severino essentially 1 start off, David.
I love that move. You know, I'm a firm believer in extra rest, and Severino's been such a horse. And his velocity was down in his last start.
Now Severino might pitch in D.C., but Boone said we're hoping that's like a throw day. He'll throw 1 inning.
And the Mets are one of those below 500 teams, but have Syndergaard back and DeGrom ready to go. It's going to be a tough matchup for the Yankees.
1-1 for Gardner, who fouled out to the catcher in the first inning to start the game. And you see Bauer out there, and it's strange. He's not the most popular guy on his own team, and he's not a popular guy in baseball. He is like a mad scientist on the mound. He approaches pitching and the art of pitching almost like an engineer. That one is looped into right field. It's a base hit for Gardner. He tinkers, he experiments. His dad is in fact an engineer, and I think that kind of thinker, David, sometimes is looked down upon in the clubhouse because he's almost too out there.
Yes, especially when he first broke in. He had a problem with the Diamondbacks, and going against their pitching coach and their philosophies, but in some ways Trevor Bauer has been vindicated. A lot of his new school methodology has been backed up with recent technology, and so has his performance. Very dedicated to his craft, works as hard as anybody, but yes, he does rub people the wrong way.
Here's Judge. Check swing, and that gets away from Perez as Gardner moves into scoring position.
This is 11th wild pitch on the year from Trevor Bauer, already a career high, and it's usually because of this pitch, that big curveball, and not a good job by Perez at all, trying to backhand it and pick it instead of block it.
You know what's interesting too about the analytical aspect of Bauer? You know, I mentioned that he's not the most popular guy in his own clubhouse. He even took to analytics essentially to find out why. He asked everybody in the clubhouse, "What about me don't you like?" And has tried to change it where they said, well, you know, you don't get involved in the clubhouse games when we kind of rag on each other. And he said, so if I insulted you more, you would like me more? And they said, yeah. He said, so now he tries to insult them a little bit more.
That is funny.
Gardner's at second, 0-2 count on Judge. Good first half for Judge. He'll be one of the starting outfielders for the American League on Tuesday from Nationals Park.
I think it was an extraordinary first half for Aaron Judge, really on both sides of the ball. One of the top defenders in right field as well, and his throwing arm.
Swing and a miss. Judge down on strikes.
One thing Trevor Bauer could always do is spin a baseball, and this is more of the slider. He's got a lot of different variations with breaking stuff. A lot of different speeds. From the low to mid 70s to the low 80s to the mid 80s. That one was 81 with a little side to side break.
Oh, 0-1 on Gregorius, who struck out in the first inning. Bauer with 47 pitches. Ripped and a base hit to right field. Gardner had to hold up to see if it gets through. And he's going to hold up at third as the throw comes all the way in to Perez.
One of the first things you learn in baseball is freeze on a line drive. That's exactly what Gardner did to make sure it got through. And once it got through, now decision time comes, and I think Phil Nevin was right. Holding up Gardner with one out. Going to give Mr. Stanton a chance here to do some damage.
Swing and a miss. You know, with all of his tinkering, what Bauer did, he spent the offseason designing a new pitch, a slider. And he said it combines Corey Kluber's slurve and Marcus Stroman's curve. And he studied other pitchers' deliveries to see how it should come out of his hand arm slot, things like that. He said my curveball is already one of the top curveballs in the league, so I have a vertical breaking pitch that I'm very comfortable with. I wanted something that's different, and that's what that gave him. And as you can see on his rankings, he's done something right.
That's the one he struck Judge out with, was that pitch you just described.
He said I needed to fill the hole on my arsenal. I needed something that had a lateral break.
Well, the technology's there. The TrackMan technology, using high definition cameras and Doppler radar, you can get instant feedback from your workouts if you're a pitcher or a hitter.
One, two. 2-2.
It used to be, Michael, when I'd throw on the side, I'd look at Mel Stoudemire. What'd you think of that? Trevor Bauer throws a pitch and goes to the computer screen. See spin rate, release point. Let me tweak it here. Let me hold the ball like this and try that. Okay, run back to the computer screen. Throw another pitch. That's how his mind works, and it served him well.
Strike three. Stanton obviously looking for something else. Frozen on that pitch, 2-away.
Looking for the local and got the express. Whenever you see a hitter take a pitch right down the middle like that, pitcher's in your head.
So 2 down. That'll bring up Hicks. You know, we're talking about all the things that are available to Bauer, and I wonder, David, you love the analytics now. Would you have used it then, or do you think it would have overloaded you?
Oh, I definitely would have used it. I like what Trevor Bauer's doing. You know, it's the same technology that's in the golf industry and been there for years. A launch monitor. Tiger Woods would get on a launch monitor and use that technology to refine his swing and the carry and the spin rate on his golf ball. It's the same in baseball now.
1-0. Hit sharply and through for a base hit. Gardner will score. Gregorius stops at second. It's an RBI single for Hicks. Yankees on the board. It's 1-0.
Well, if you asked and took a poll on who is the best center fielder not named Mike Trout in the American League, the answer should be Aaron Hicks, with a great first half. Power, speed, and good defense. The metrics back it up. He's the second-ranked center fielder according to WAR in the American League. There's kind of Mike Trout, and then there's everybody else. Of the everybody else, Aaron Hicks leads.
Here's Greg Bird. Foul ball. Bird came up with the bases loaded, 2 outs in the first inning. Hit the ball hard, but to Jason Kipnis, who is stationed in short right field as he is right now.
Can I answer your question there quickly, Michael? You know, we tend to lump analytics all into one big group. There's lots of little subcategories, and the technical aspects of the TrackMan technology, I think, are very beneficial to hitters and pitchers. And managers start to use that technology in game to make pitching changes. Pitcher loses a little spin rate. His arm angle changes. You can get instant confirmation through that technology.
Fly ball, center field. Allen there. Allen makes the play, and that'll do it. But the Yankees get a run on 3 hits. 2 men left. We go to the bottom of the third.
is for Masahiro Tanaka to continue to use the fastball, even as the amount of times he's used it has dwindled throughout the season. And it's something I talked about with Kyle Higashioka today, who's catching him for the first time in his career, at least with Tanaka starting. And he said, look, we need hitters to have that fastball in the back of their minds. You can't abandon it completely, because if they're able to sit breaking ball, that is a problem. So yes, we need to use it enough where it is still an option. I said, do you go into the game thinking, okay, we can only use it this amount of times, or there has to be this percentage or ratio? He said, I don't go in with any certain ratio. Kind of it's dictated by his stuff that day, but it's not like I'm going into the start trying to avoid it or thinking I can only use it this amount of times or this percentage.
Well, so far so good, Ryan, for Tanaka. 2 scoreless innings. He has a 1-0 lead now. Naquin leads off. And there's a strike.
I think especially, Ryan, with 2 strikes. We saw that with Trevor Bauer and Giancarlo Stanton last inning. A lot of breaking stuff, and then 2 strikes. You can catch hitters off guard with a fastball. To me, it's a great finishing pitch and a weapon that you must keep in the back of the hitter's minds. He might whiz this fastball in the inside corner when they start sitting on all the soft stuff. Tanaka throws a lot of splitters, a lot of sliders.
Bat goes flying into the Yankee dugout. Let's see if everybody's okay. Boone is the one who retrieved it.
Look at the spray can for Pine Tar. New school. Can't be good for the ozone layer, Mike.
You would think not. Two and two.
Michael David, a little Gary Sanchez news. He has just gone yard in his rehab game off of Irvin Santana. Just missed a homer foul, and this time keeps it fair. So good start for Sanchez in Scranton.
Now he, in all likelihood, will be back unless there's a setback for the Mets series. And as for Gleyber Torres, they're looking at him maybe for that series against the Rays in St. Pete. Shift is on for Naquin. 3 infielders on the right side. The outfielders shade the other way toward the left field line. Grounded to second. Neil Walker to Bird. 1 away.
Well, we've seen Gary Sanchez working out before the games. Actually here at Progressive Field, running the stairs. Looks like he shed a few pounds. Might be a little wake-up call for him in terms of conditioning, getting himself in the best possible shape.
Blue Jays have tied the Red Sox 2-2 now in the 3rd inning. Here's Allen. And a strike from Tanaka. Tanaka was brilliant in Game 3 of the ALDS against the Indians. 7 innings, 3 hits, did not allow a run. 1 walk, 7 strikeouts, and that one's right back to Tanaka. If you think about that, what was at stake, the Yankee season was at stake. They were down 2 games to nothing. Going back to the stadium, they had to win that game, and he was brilliant. In fact, David, I think he pitched better in the postseason than we've seen him pitch in 2 years.
He really did rise to the occasion. And that's something that's in Tanaka's DNA. His career in Japan as being an ace over there and pitching in big games, really all the way back to high school. He's got that knack for really elevating his game when needed on the big stage. It's one of the reasons why he wanted to come and be a Yankee.
One 1-0. Postseason 2-1 in 20 innings, 3 walks, 18 strikeouts. Just allowed 2 earned runs. Fly ball, left field, deep. Going back is Gardner right in front of the track. He'll make the play to retire Lindor. So a 1-2-3 inning for Tanaka. Third of the way through, it's 1-0 Yanks. Doing more. James Paxton, 10-day DL, lower back inflammation. Mariners don't think it's that big of a deal. Wilson Ramos, what a disappointment for him. Going back to D.C., would have played in the All-Star game. Now he will not. Left hamstring tightness. Eduardo Rodriguez, 10-day DL for the Red Sox. Right ankle sprain. Kevin Pillar, 10-day DL, right AC joint sprain. So that's around the league, some of the injuries. We go to the fourth inning. Here is Miguel Andujar against Trevor Bauer. And a strike. Audi scoreboard 1-0 Yanks. StatCast powered by AWS. This is the spray chart on the ground. In the past 100 batted balls. That one's in the air to center field. Allen is there. I want to get your take on something that Bauer does, David. His long toss regimen. Many teams do not want their pitchers to throw for any more than 120 feet for about 10 minutes. Bauer does it 400 feet and goes for 20 to 30 minutes.
That's one of the reasons why the Diamondbacks, who selected him with a first-round draft pick, kind of gave up on him kind of quickly and put him on the trade block. They did not like, that routine that you mentioned, and that he would not listen either. He firmly believes in his ways. He was going to do it his way. His arm health is not in question. I think he once again is being vindicated on his training methods, including throwing a weighted baseball, which was taboo when I played. Think about hitters use a weighted donut to make their bats feel heavier and swing it. For pitchers to throw a weighted baseball, much heavier than the regular baseball, that was really frowned on, and he's used it and thrived with it. And now a lot of pitchers, including Aroldis Chapman, use weighted baseballs to throw to warm up. So Bauer really was ahead of the curve in terms of new school training methods, and you know what, he's backing it up. His arm health is very good. He's on a career high pace this year of innings pitched, going deep into the games, leads the major leagues and starts with 100+ pitches.
Ripped to left field. Foul ball by Higashioka. This is some of what he does as he's warming up to start the game.
A lot of these training methods in this long toss, and it's got the music playing, rhythm involved into it, kind of tuning out. A lot of these training methods are the reason that a lot of major league pitchers now throw harder. You know, we've noted how much harder pitchers throw, especially the relievers, velocity wise. A lot of it are directly attributable to these training methods.
Fly ball left field. Brantley. He certainly got clever when he was a kid with the weighted baseballs. He used to fill them out with sand and fishing weights just to change their weight. And there's another thing that he does that not a lot of pitchers do.
That's actually one I did. That's similar to, it's called the body blade, and it's for the fast twitch muscles. You can get that blade swinging. There's a lot of flexibility into it, and you can really isolate the small muscles in your rotator cuff. It's actually rotor cuff, but for some reason all these years I think it's a rotator cuff.
Isn't that what they say though? Rotator cuff surgery?
Yeah, they say it.
But it's rotor.
Yeah. Tomato, tomato.
Let's call the whole thing off. Driven deep to right field. There it goes. See ya. A long home run for Neil Walker. And it is 2-0 Yanks.
Now batting for the Yankees, left fielder Brett Gardner.
A lot of confidence among the Yankees coaches in Neil Walker, even though he had struggled. He's had some streaks that have really looked good and then struggled, and lack of playing time, used to being an everyday guy, but this is what he brings. He still has bat speed, and he still can hit the ball out of the ballpark.
And that's a little bit of an eye-opener because Bauer does not give up home runs this year. Lowest percentage in the major leagues, .35 home runs per 9 innings pitched.
Number 6 on the year against Bauer after giving up 25 last year. Especially batting left-handed, Neil Walker has always been a threat, and goes without saying that profiles well in Yankee Stadium.
Ground ball right side, diving stop by Kipnis, gets up and gets Gardner for the final out of the 4th. But the Yankees get another run. A long home run off the bat of Neil Walker, his 3rd of the year. When this one lands, the Yankees will have a 2-0 lead. nation's capital. The MLB All-Star Game, Tuesday, only on Fox, or stream it live on the Fox Sports app. That should be a fun night. The night before should be fun as well with the home run derby. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. It's 2-0 Yankees. Michael Brantley against Tanaka. And there's a strike. The home run by Neil Walker, the first home run that Bauer has given up since June 2nd. That's a period of 8 starts. One and one.
So I'm going to pull an Aaron Boone.
Okay.
And just own it.
Yeah.
It's rotator cuff.
Is it?
Yeah. I'm just going to own it. I was wrong.
Where'd you come up with rotor?
For some reason, it just stuck in this weird, flaky brain of mine. Take a page out of Aaron Boone's book, right?
And it's smart what you're doing, because rather than get attacked later on about it, you just own that you made a rare mistake.
Just flat out wrong.
That'll bring up Ramirez. Now let's take a look at the cheap hitter scouting report on the third baseman for the Indians. What a player.
Yeah, well, speed and power. I mean, he has 19 stolen bases, only caught 3 times, and obviously he's got 29 home runs to go with that. And the modern Yankee killer, I mean, his numbers against the Yankees are off the charts, and it's tough to strike out, and we'll get to those numbers a little bit later. It's tough to strike out. I mean, he walks more than he strikes out. That's pretty rare in today's game. Just 57 walks, or 57 walks against just 46 strikeouts. I mean, I'm against small sample sizes, but, you know, Ramirez, modern Yankee killer, 363 average, 6 homers and 18 RBIs in 30 games.
Well, he's 5 for 10 in this series so far, after striking out in the first inning. Those are the numbers David gave you.
Tanaka has had him off balance so far today. You don't see Ramirez not only swing and miss, but look like he's having trouble timing Tanaka.
Strike 3. Ramirez down looking. So 0 for 2 today.
Well, sometimes the splitter is in the strike zone. See Tanaka at 87 miles an hour, painting the black. Ramirez not looking for that one. Generally speaking, most split finger fastballs end up out of the strike zone, and you're trying to get hitters to chase. When Tanaka can throw it for a strike and miss with it out, that makes him double trouble.
Brantley diving back. That one is drilled to left field. That ball is gone. Tie game.
Just that fast. A slider that took a seat twice. First at home plate and second into the stands.
'22nd home run for Encarnacion. Now has 65 ribbies, and we have a 2-2 game. Alonso swings and misses. Line drive, knocked down by Walker. No play. So Alonso picks up a single.
Well, because of the modern day shifts, this was even a play at all. Walker makes a good effort. But after the bobble, no real chance to even make a throw.
There's Kipnis. Yankees 2 runs on 6 hits. The Indians 2 runs on 3 hits. And a strike. Swing and a miss. Kipnis down on strikes. 2 away.
Right on cue, Ryan Rucco. How about this? 0-2 fastball right on by. Inside corner and up, perfectly located. It's a good formula for Tanaka because he's so well known for all of his off-speed pitches. Keeping him honest with the fastball.
Here's Roberto Perez. Flied out to fairly deep right field in the second. This is his 32nd start behind the plate, and the Indians are 16-15 when he starts. So they're 8 games over 500. Slightly better with Gomes behind the plate, who's a better hitter and a good defender. They're both pretty good defenders. The 0-1, 0-2. Count 1-2.
Always been a tough park to pitch in, Michael. Even back into the 90s. And the Indians always seem to perform well here offensively, and it's ringing true again this year. Very difficult. One of the toughest teams to face at home.
Swing and a miss. So he bounces back with 2 strikeouts. But the Indians bounce back in this inning. They were down 2-0 before that swing. Edwin Encarnacion, a 2-run home run. We'll go to the 5th. It's 2-2. Red Sox 2 in the loss column, and everybody else just onlookers. 2-2 game as we go to the 5th inning. Here's Aaron Judge. A single and a strikeout. And the GMC scoreboard showed you 2-6-0 for the Yanks, 2-3-0 for the Indians. Yankees have left 5 runners on base, the Indians 2. 90-degree day here at Progressive Field. Nice crowd on hand. Yankees have 62 wins, as we mentioned. Now that's the most as an organization they've ever had before the All-Star break. But that's really not a perfect stat, because this is their 94th game. That's their 94 games. This is their 95th. All-Star game usually does not start this late, so this is a better stat. They have a .660 winning percentage, and that's the 13th best winning percentage in franchise history before the All-Star break. As Judge goes down on strikes. How about this, David? You were part of a team in 1998. You guys had 61 wins in 81 games before the All-Star break. That's 40 games over 500 before the All-Star break.
And by that point, it was more of, hey, let's just keep it going. Let's keep challenging ourselves. We had reinforcements already in place. El Duque was there. What a boost that is for a rotation in the middle of the year. Oh yeah, we got this guy El Duque. We're going to bring him up. Remember, my finger got bitten by my mother's Jack Russell Terrier. And Joe Torre came to me, said, hey, we want to get a look at this El Duque guy, see what he's got.
Do you think that Joe Torre sent the Jack Russell Terrier just to...
It was a puppy, a little Jack Russell. I was playing tug of war with it, and just nipped me right on my pointer finger. course, nobody believes that to this day. They thought it happened at a bar somewhere.
Well, you could say the dog was at a bar with you. Do I remember the dog's name is Veronica?
Veronica.
Veronica.
Yes.
So Veronica really did alter Yankee history.
She did. Ushered in the El Duque era. Yankees could use an El Duque for their rotation right about now.
Well, when you see him now, he looks like he could pitch. Two-two game. Yankees trying to win another series. They're 19-2-3 in their last 24 series dating back to April 19th. Overall, 20 series wins, 4 losses, 5 ties. And that was not caught cleanly on the fly by Perez, so Gregorius stays alive. And Bauer's questioning that.
Definitely hit dirt. Very decisive from home plate umpire. You saw a little cloud of smoke come up too.
Ripped into center field. Allen is there to make the play. Here's Giancarlo Stanton. Stanton singled and struck out looking. One and oh.
Pitch number 82 coming here in the 5th. Kind of, you know, when you're facing a hot pitcher, well, you had that shot in the first inning, right? Even though they're locked into a 2-2 game here.
Base hit into left center field. Allen cuts the ball off. Big turn by Stanton. He'll stay right there. David, he hits the ball so hard the infielders don't have a chance to move.
It is incredible. You know, and that's kind of why you keep track of exit velocity nowadays. I know some people don't like to hear all the numbers all the time, but I'm interested how hard they throw it, how hard they hit it, because the harder you hit it, the better chance you have to get a hit.
And that's one of the best shortstops in baseball, and really didn't have any sniff at it. Here's Aaron Hicks. Walked in an RBI single. Now, David mentioned the pitch count. 84. We're in the 5th inning, and Terry Francona breaks out into sweats thinking about going to his bullpen. He tries to squeeze every last pitch and inning out of his starters, and that's not hyperbole. Their bullpen is statistically the worst in baseball, ERA-wise.
And Terry Francona, as much as it admitted that he felt a little extra pressure to push his starters a little deeper. Waiting for Andrew Miller to get back. Waiting for the trade deadline to get some reinforcements potentially.
David, we saw it on Thursday. They pushed Kluber way longer than they would have. And he was fatigued and gave up a big hit. Now, he's their best starter, but still, if you had a full bullpen, you probably would not have had him throw that pitch.
Absolutely. The same with Bieber as well into the 8th inning.
2-1. 2-2.
Kind of looks like a left-hander, doesn't he, Bauer? Hat's a little crooked.
A little bit.
Thinks a little crooked.
He thinks like a lefty for sure. You could have been a lefty.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, look at him. He looks like a lefty.
Runner goes, late start, and he is safe. That was not a delayed steal. The ball was in the dirt, and Stanton decided to take off. It didn't get that far away from Perez.
Well, that's a good call, Michael. As you see, it was in the dirt, and Stanton just took off, made a quick decision, and got away with it. And the high throw is the reason why, and just underneath that tag on Yesmo.
So a runner in scoring position and a 3-2 count on Hicks. We're in the fifth, 2-2 game. Ripped and caught by Alonso, saving a run. Oh, did Hicks hit that? But right into the glove of Yonder Alonso. No runs a hit. One man left at the end of 4.5, halfway through. Yankees 2, Indians 2. Royals, it's Military Appreciation Day and Camo Cap Day, as the first 18,000 guests in attendance are going to receive a Camo Yankees cap courtesy of Budweiser. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com, visit the Yankee Stadium ticket window, Yankees clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. Beautiful day to be on the water or to be in a ball game. We're going to be watching a ball game. We thank you for joining us on this Sunday afternoon. GMC scoreboard shows you it's 2-2, bottom of the fifth inning. The advance to second by Stanton has been scored a stolen base. So if you are keeping score at home, that's how you score that. Because I guess there's no other way to go on that, David. The ball was in the dirt, which is why he went. But it was scooped cleanly by Perez, so it couldn't be a wild pitch.
Exactly. The wild part didn't happen.
Laced to left field, a base hit for Naquin. The MLB.TV All-Star is here for $39.99. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live or on demand. Your subscription includes MLB At Bat Premium, allowing you to watch live baseball on your favorite supported devices. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV to take advantage of this sale.
Well, even though Masahiro Tanaka only has 51 pitches here in the 5th, in a 2-2 game with the All-Star break coming, I would anticipate a short leash, as Aaron Boone's got everybody available in the bullpen today.
Allen bunts. A good bunt. And the sacrifice is successful, 1-3.
Terry Francona playing a little small ball. And probably the right hitter to do it with, even though I'm not a big fan of the bunt. If I'm on the mound, I always viewed that as a gift, but well executed though by Allen. Certainly it helps when the 9-hole hitter can do it, and now the top of the order's up. So you're going to take your chances with Lindor, and then Brantley, and potentially Ramirez now.
You know, you had good instincts when you played, David, because now our information guy, James Smythe, always tells us you have a better percentage chance of scoring from first with nobody out than you do from second with one out.
Generally speaking, yes. But context matters, and so does Lindor in the top of the Cleveland order.
Hit sharply, knocked down by Bird, flips to Tanaka for the second out as Naquin moves to third.
And direction matters. Sometimes direction is more important than contact or exit velocity, and Bird right there. So Hicks robbed to end last inning with a scorcher to first, and Lindor robbed here. Now 2 outs with Brantley up.
Brantley, fly ball to left, walked and scored. 3 infielders on the right side for Brantley. Naquin leads off third. Now usually with Brantley up, and Duhar would be back where the shortstop would play and closer to second, but he's got to hover somewhere in the area code of third base just to keep Naquin honest.
Keep Naquin honest and Brantley honest.
Oh, 0-2.
I really like the usage of Tanaka's fastball, 93 there. He's kept the Indians honest and at least off balance by using enough fastballs today. The 1 home run was a slider that hung on the inner half. A tough hitter here. Brantley's third on the list of percentage of swings that amounts to a hard hit contact, meaning 95 miles an hour or higher. Brantley's third in the league on that. Mookie Betts is first. And that's not launch angles. That just hit the ball 95 miles an hour. Top 5 in baseball: Betts, Simmons, Brantley, Machado, and Markakis.
Now with the 2 strikes, obviously Andujar could back up a bit because he doesn't have to worry about the bunt, but still in that vicinity of third base. Nice block by Higashioka.
Tanaka shaking off to the fastball.
Missed upstairs.
It's a good try. Pretty easy to read here. Is no runner on second base, just one sign.
Hit sharply. Walker falls down, regains, throws to Bird, and that will do it. As Tanaka works out of trouble. No runs a hit, one man left. We're tied at 2 as we hit 6. $1 million giveaway. Win luxury prizes all summer with one player taking home $1 million guaranteed. We go to the 6th inning. Final game of the first half of the season. Yankees and the Indians are tied at 2. Red Sox have moved back ahead of the Blue Jays 4-2. Bottom of the 5th inning. Here's Greg Bird. 1-0. You know, Bauer made his first All-Star team, and usually when pitchers pitch on the Sunday before the All-Star game, popped up shallow right. Kipnis makes the play. They go to the All-Star game. They're not going to pitch. They get introduced. They tip their cap, and there's the honor of being an All-Star. But he laughed at the fact that he couldn't pitch on Tuesday. He wants to pitch all the time. He thinks it's better to just throw all the time. And Terry Francona doesn't care if they use him in inning, and that's just how Bauer is built. So we might see him on Tuesday. There's the breakdown pitches by inning, 24 in the first. Everything else reasonable. He's up to 92.
Would be his normal throw day.
Grounded up the middle. Kipnis gets Andujar.
Bauer a chance to catch up on his pitch count a bit.
At bat now for the Yankees, number 66.
Well, I noted earlier that Trevor Bauer leads the major leagues in 17 games started of 100 pitches or more. Terry Francona has shown, and we made the point, and Michael did as well earlier, that he's going to push him as much as he can. So 110, 115, maybe even 120 pitches a day, especially if he is still throwing well and effective. .96 miles an hour on the 94th pitch.
One and one on Higashioka. Everybody is available today.
That's interesting. It's one of the reasons why the Indians are so dangerous come postseason time if they get their bullpen straightened out. Their starting rotation matches up with just about anybody. They have a dynamic duo in Lindor and Ramirez, and they're very tough in this park and score a lot of runs. But Cleveland almost really is built for postseason. The way they play, they just need that last piece for this year. And as you noted, Michael, the window was closing. It's a lot of free agents. Clearly a very dangerous team. Could easily win a World Series with this roster with a little bit of tweaking here and there and getting in a healthy Andrew Miller back.
Fly ball, center field, Allen. And a 1-2-3 inning for Bauer as the Yankees go down in order. We're going to go to the bottom of the 6th inning. It's 2-2 right here on Yes. Two 7-0 for the Yanks, 2-4-0 for the Indians. Masahiro Tanaka still on the mound for the Yanks. The pitch count's in great shape, David, and you know, we always say with Tanaka, the home run sometimes bites him. That's really the only mistake in the game.
It really was. He has been very sharp, much improved from his last start. This is his second start back from the hamstrings, plural, injury. A very encouraging start. If you're Larry Rothschild and Aaron Boone, you really like what you've seen today from Tanaka-san.
Jose Ramirez will start it off here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 2 strikeouts against Tanaka. You know, we've mentioned this throughout the series. He might be one of the great bargains in Major League Baseball. He signed an early contract, 5 years, $25 million. He's playing like a $20 million a year player. He's in the 2nd year of that 5-year deal. And I was thinking about this, David, the difference between baseball and football. Now, football, not all contracts are guaranteed, but if a guy outperformed his contract, he wouldn't play. He'd hold out. And they would either redo it or he'd have to hold out forever. And they usually do redo it or trade the guy. But there hasn't even been any talk of, I was talking to some Indian people, they say he's just thrilled to be here.
Yeah, obviously, different unions, different player associations, different histories. Well, we mentioned the point. Tanaka struck him out twice today. I think that's pretty impressive. You know, he walks more than he strikes out. Ramirez, you know, Ryan Rucco looked this up for me. Of Major League Baseball's top 17 in home runs, Mookie Betts is the only other player in that group to have more walks than strikeouts. So that's a category he's in now. Mookie Betts, Mike Trout. Mike Trout's in a different stratosphere.
Check swing. Did he go? No, he did not. 3-2.
But in the American League, yes. When you talk about MVPs of the first half, this guy's name is squarely in the middle of the conversation.
Laced into center field. It's a base hit. Well, this copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the New York Yankees. I may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. Here's Encarnacion. And the pitch is high. 2-run home run to left field. That was in the 4th inning. Yankees led 2-0 before that. Now it's 2-2. That's where we stand, bottom of the 6th. One and one.
There's that burnt wood thing we were talking about before. Definitely the smell of burnt wood on that one. This is what Ted Williams was talking about. When you foul one straight back off the sweet spot with that kind of swing, yeah, let me smell it. Yeah.
Fly ball center field. Hicks comes on. Makes the play. And here's Alonso. When the Indians lost Carlos Santana to free agency, signed a 3-year, $60 million deal with the Phillies. They pivoted and signed Alonso as a free agent, and he's had a good first half. Right back to Gregorius. Can they turn two? There's one, and there's two. You don't think the shift works? It's 1st and 3rd without the shift. He's right up the middle and took away a base hit. Scored 6-6-3. And it was a hot shot ticketed for center field, but Gregorius turned it into 2. We go to the 7th.
by sharing a photo or video with hashtag HatsOffForHeroes. For each post, T-Mobile will donate $1 to support veterans.
Welcome back to Cleveland, everybody. Top of the 7th inning, it's 2-2 Yankees and the Indians on the Cadillac scoreboard. Yankees with 7 hits, the Indians with 5. Neil Walker will start it off. Solo home run in the 4th inning. He's 1 for 2. Foul back. Next pitch, pitch number 100. And the Indian bullpen is getting ready. Oh, 95 miles an hour on the fast pitch speed analytics, sponsored by Fios by Verizon. Ollie Perez up. Gardner's on deck. Lined into left field. And it is caught by Brantley. He took a base hit away from Walker. Nice play by Brantley.
Nice play and a gutsy play leading off the inning, because if that scoots on by, that's at least a triple. So decision time, you got a split second to make a decision. Do I go get it, take the chance and dive? Or do I play it on one hop? Brantley, to Bauer's delight, made the right call.
So here's Gardner. Yesterday was an important day for Gardner, and it's an important day for a lot of players because he officially became a 10-year veteran. And when you're a 10-year veteran, 5 with one team, you can't be traded. You essentially have a full no-trade clause. Not that the Yankees are going to trade him anyway, but it does give you a sense of security. And a lot of players don't reach 10-5 status.
Full pension benefits. It's just a truly, really good story. Brett Gardner's battled his whole life throughout the minor leagues, battled just to make a college team. Hitting a baseball didn't come naturally. He really had to teach himself how to hit and learn how to hit with power, and he has. He's a real legitimate threat.
Fly ball shallow center. Allen on the run makes the play for the second out.
See, one of these days, a long time from now, Brett Gardner's going to trot out there on Old Timers Day and be remembered as one of the great Yankees ever.
And we told the story before. You said it was hard for him to make a college team. He tried out and got turned down. And his father wrote a letter to the coach because when he was told why he didn't make the team, below average hitting, below average speed, and when the father said below average speed, he said, who were they looking at? And so after the letter, they gave him another look and he made the team. And here he is, a 10-year Yankee.
He's in fantastic shape. He really has not lost a step. Still has elite type speed. And you know, in Yankee, when you try to compare to the greats, you start talking about all-time Yankee greats. You can't compare to Babe Ruth and Joe DiMaggio, Lou Gehrig, but he will forever be remembered as one of the great Yankees. And he's not even close to being done. He's still got a lot of game.
1-1. 1-2 on Judge. Judge singled in the first, but struck out in the third and the fifth. Strike 3. Judge down looking. So Bauer has retired the last 7 in a row. At the end of 6.5 innings of play, it's time for the 7th inning stretch here at Progressive Field. Yankees and the Indians are tied at 2. Time for the game summary brought to you by your local Nissan dealer. 2-7-0 for the Yankees, 2-5-0 for the Indians. Tanaka's gone 6. He's out there to start the bottom of the 7th. Trevor Bauer has gone 7. Neil Walker solo home run. Edwin Encarnacion a 2-run home run. The other run scored on an Aaron Hicks single in the 3rd. And here is Kipnis. And a strike from Tanaka. Cadillac scoreboard, 2-2, bottom of the 7th. Well, they've announced the attendance at 32,644. And you wonder why some teams want an unbalanced schedule, because they want to see the Yankees as much as possible come into town. The Indians, as good a team as they are, and they went to the 7th game of the World Series in 2016, they have not been drawing great at all. And these 4 games have been a bonanza for them. Close to 4 straight sellouts just because the Yankees are in town.
She had a fireworks display after last night's game.
And Friday as well. Kipnis lofts one into center field. He's going to dunk in for a base hit. So Kipnis is 2 for 3 against Tanaka. It's a little bit of an odd situation here, David. I want to get your read. Aaron Boone said he wants Tanaka to go to 100 pitches. You also want to win this game. He's got a really low pitch count. So do you go to your great bullpen or do you push him to 100?
You play to win the game.
Right.
No doubt about it. You got a chance to win another series here. The Yankees have won 20 out of 29 series so far. 24 and 5. 5 ties or splits.
Well, Bird is about to charge for a bunt, and Tanaka threw over there anyway. I love that you channeled Herm Edwards.
Yes, it's a great line. And as Aaron Boone said, you almost don't even need to look at the scoreboard. Boston wins every day. You got to keep pace.
Perez missed the bunt, 0-1.
Terry Francona had a great line with regard to Kipnis, who's really struggled this year. And you see Perez probably still going to be in a bunting position here. And Terry Francona trying to manufacture something. But since June 1st, Kipnis has hit 261 with 6 home runs after a horrendous start, really slow start. And Francona said, you know what, if you give up on the guys when they're going down, you don't get the good stuff when they turn it around. I think that really resonated with Kipnis. He'd seen Kipnis for 6 years. And passionate baseball fans were calling for his release. I think Yankee fans can relate to that. How many times have you seen on Twitter, DFA this guy, DFA that guy? And Terry Francona, a little old school wisdom. You hang with guys. You hang with players that you trust. And then when they turn it around, then you reap the rewards. And Kipnis certainly has done that.
There's a bunt.
Second.
That's where he goes, and he gets him. The ball was dropped on the transfer, and Kipnis slid into Gregorius. He's limping around just a bit. Didi is.
Tanaka's a good athlete. He moves quickly, and he can bounce. So excellent job by Tanaka, and then here Didi Gregorius clearly on the transfer and gets an inadvertent spike from Kipnis. And yes, they still wear metal spikes. And they come in high and right on top of his left foot. Well, that was the correct call by the umpire. Clearly on the transfer did the bobble happen.
Well, Stevie Donahue goes out to look at Gregorius. Boone goes out to take out Tanaka. So Gregorius trying to talk his way to stay in there. It looks like he will. And Tanaka will head to the dugout, and Boone will call to the bullpen.
Saw today from Masahiro Tanaka. He really had this Indians lineup, which is very difficult to face, especially here at home, off balance all day, and mixed in some fastballs. I think that was the key, the right mix from Tanaka today. And you see the line into the 7th inning, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. Just the one big mistake to Encarnacion. The one pitch you'd want back, a hanging slider that resulted in a 2-run homer, and now the game's going to fall into Chad Green's hands.
36 game for Green. You see his numbers. Now, the Yankees have a full complement of relievers in the bullpen. The one guy who's almost certain not to pitch is David Robertson. They want to stay away from him. And if they could, they'd like to stay away from Shreve. Everybody else is a go because there's 4 days off after this. And Terry Francona knows that when it goes to a battle of the bullpens, his team on paper is not expected to win that right now. So Rajai Davis takes over as a pinch runner at first base for Perez. And Green now faces Naquin. I think that after the Kipnis single, David, he was going to take out Tanaka. But he knows that Tanaka is such a good fielder that the bunt was in order, and that paid off.
It really did. And I would expect Rajai Davis to run here early in this count.
The Indian lineup is very stout from 1 to 5, and then it drops off a cliff. So there's a lot of talk about Lindor should be hitting 3rd, and then you have Davis just lead off. But people in the innings don't think he's an everyday outfielder anymore, where he could lead off every single day. That would lengthen the lineup just a little bit more. But Lindor, and this is also a consideration, loves leading off.
It's the modern day argument. Really, the thing with Rajai Davis is that he's never been a real high on base percentage guy. And he does, even though he's very fast, and that's not a good thing to have at the top of the order.
And the guy who leads off will get the most at bats of anybody on your team. Because when the lineup spins around again, it might go to maybe the 3rd batter and never get down to the 4th or 5th.
I thought Bill James, kind of the godfather of sabermetrics, said it best. He said, don't obsess over your lineup. Just get your best hitters up at the top as much as you can.
Popped up. Left field. Gardner is there to make the play. 2 down. Now time for Lowe's whole team together. Let's talk about the team that is the bullpen. This is the last 4 games, 14 in the 3rd innings, 5 hits, no runs, 5 walks, 18 strikeouts, and the bullpen's overall ERA is 2.63, and that's the best in Major League Baseball. And you wonder, as the trade deadline approaches, if there's not a starter out there that is a game changer, do the Yankees go out and make the strongest part of their team stronger?
Yeah,
bring another reliever in.
It's a great point, Michael. A plan B. You know, Brian Cashman's always got a plan B and a plan C. And of course, we'd love to add a frontline starter. But if it's not there, yeah, what's next best? What are our weaknesses? How do we attack it? What makes sense?
Well, Davis must not be getting a good read on Green. On the fly ball to left, he was going and stopped when the ball was hit, so he didn't get a good jump then either. He's out there to run, and he hasn't done it yet.
Well, Green's not particularly fast in his delivery to home. Well, probably about average, not really slow either, but he throws it fast. He throws a lot of fastballs.
Runner was going then, ball fouled away.
little bit surprising there that Allen did not give Davis a chance there. Swinging at a pitch, a fastball from Green. Now a 1-1 count. Usually when you're up 1-0 in the count, you know Rajai Davis with that kind of lead is going to go. You give him a chance. Unless you're a big home run hitter. Maybe Encarnacion sees a pitch. You turn him loose, or Lindor. Greg Allen batting .203. Swings at that pitch.
Runner goes. And grounded through for a base hit. Didi was going to cover, and that opened up the hole. Ball quickly gotten in by Hicks, first and third, with 2 men out and the dangerous Lindor coming up.
See Didi kind of vacate the hole just by a step, and that's all that was needed for Allen's batted ball to get by. It's always the toughest part for middle infielders is how long do you hang in there when there's a stolen base coming? One step made all the difference right there.
Here's Lindor. He is 0 for 3. 3 for 14 in this series against the Yankees. Allen way off of first base, and Higashioka pump fake toward first and chase him back. High fly ball right field. Stanton battling the sun, makes the play, and that will do it here in the 7th. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left. Let's go to the 8th. Television event featuring the definitive documentary series Yankeeography, History of the Yankees, on back-to-back nights during the All-Star break. Now it all kicks off Wednesday at 7 with Part 1, Origins to 1953, followed by Part 2, 1954 to 1980. And it all leads up to the premiere of the newest installment, 2004 to 2017. That's on Thursday night at 8 o'clock. It's really an event that you cannot miss. It'll be right here on Yes. New catcher for the Indians is Yan Gomes. And the new pitcher, He's not a reliever, and that is Carlos Carrasco. So getting in some work before the All-Star game. And he'll face Gregorius, and there's a strike. Hyundai scoreboard 2-2, top of the 8th. One and one.
Carrasco should be good to go. He last pitched on July 11th. 5 innings, 1 earned run, and 7 strikeouts against Cincinnati. So plenty of rest for him to stretch it out a bit here.
Right back to Carrasco. One away. Now a quick word from Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center.
Memorial Sloan Kettering, changing how the world treats cancer for over 130 years.
This is Carrasco's first time out of the bullpen since August of 2014. And he gets Gregorius on the comebacker. Here's Stanton. Two and one on Stanton.
If you're a right-handed batter, these Cleveland options are tough. Kluber, Bauer, Carrasco. Very tough on right-handed batters. Both power type stuff, strikeout pitchers.
Close. Swing and a miss. Stanton down on strikes.
To the plate now for the Yankees.
Carrasco's got 3+ pitches. There's the slider. Down and away. A really good power changeup, and we saw his fastball at 97 miles an hour on the top end.
David, how tough is this to come out of the bullpen when you haven't done it in 4 years?
I don't think it should be that tough. He had plenty of time to warm up. He's starting a fresh inning. This is ideal. You wouldn't want to get him rushed to warm up and bring him in the middle of an inning. This should be no problem at all.
One and one on Hicks. Hicks walked in the first, RBI single right in the third, lined out sharply to Alonso in the fifth. Shift is on. 3 infielders on the right side for the switch hitter batting from the left side. One and two.
This game's got kind of a postseason feel to it now. The starters are used as relievers, and all hands on deck.
Waved at that one, and a strong inning for Carlos Carrasco. As he retires, the Yankees in order will go to the bottom of the 8th, 2-2. Visit tristategmc.com for great lease offers. By NFL Experience, the place to go to celebrate summer. Tickets start at $27. Visit NFLExperience.com for details. And by the Jeep Celebration event going on now. Crowd of close to 33,000 here at Progressive Field on the Hyundai scoreboard. 2-2, bottom of the 8th. Brantley leads off against Green, and there's a strike. It'll be Brantley, Ramirez, and Encarnacion. The lines are identical. Each team 2 runs on 7 hits, no errors. High drive, right field. Stanton back, track, wall, leaps. See ya. A home run for Brantley, 3-2 Indians.
Another look. Chad Green challenges just about everybody. Tried to get it in, have drifted a bit, and Stanton with a heck of an effort. Almost got there, actually. Another look on Yesmo. That was incredible effort by Stanton. Scaling the wall.
Billy Hamilton-like. Oh, 2 on Ramirez, who's 1 for 3 tonight. The single in the 6th extends his hitting streak to 6 straight. Did he go? Nope. Grounded and through for a base hit. Found a hole in the zone and picked up a single.
Well, it came in at 94.5 miles an hour and left at 99.9 and traveled about a half a foot far enough just to get by Stanton's effort, 387 feet. Needed every inch of it.
Here is Encarnacion. Runner goes. Swing and a miss. Throw to second. It goes into center field. Ramirez gets to his feet. He's going to third. The throw is not in time. Stolen base. E2. Runner on third. Nobody out.
Stolen base number 20 on the year for Ramirez, and no hesitation. Reminds me of Vizquel, Omar Vizquel for back in the day. He was a daring base runner, did not even try to set it up. He goes on the first pitch. Caution to the wind. That's his style. They just go.
The Yankees have to bring the infield in now for Encarnacion. An 0-1 count. He swung through the pitch. 1-1.
Ramirez only been caught 3 times too, so 20 stolen bases, 29 homers.
One and two. Still 1-2. A.J. Cole getting ready for the Yanks. Foul back. 3 runs on 9 hits for the Indians. 2 runs on 7 for the Yankees. Allen is up. He'll come in and try to close. Big component of last year's bullpen, Brian Shaw signed as a free agent. 3 years, $9 million a year. And the Indians didn't want to go there because that's what Andrew Miller makes. And Andrew Miller is much more important than Brian Shaw was. 2-2. And that got Encarnacion. And he's going to take first. And he's in pain.
Well, that's his walk the parrot arm. Parrot down. Kind of turns into it. You see a lot of hitters nowadays is a pitch that wasn't that far inside gets turned into by the style of hitters nowadays, and you could tell right away, wow. That may just take him right out of this game.
I think he got him twice. Eric Gonzalez will pinch run for Encarnacion. The Yankees still have the infield in. They want to cut off their run down. They're down by 1. Ramirez at third. Gonzalez at first. Nobody out. Yonder Alonso at the plate.
Infield in, obviously, yeah.
Runner goes. Fouled away. Now we talk about how analytics teams don't really adhere that much to the stolen base. But that's where Terry Francona straddles the line. He has all the analytic information, and the organization lets him manage the way he wants. He uses those numbers the way he wants. He's not ordered to use those numbers in a certain way. And he likes to push the envelope. Gonzalez goes again. 0-2.
They do, and they have a high success rate. So anytime you're talking about stolen bases, you have to really factor in how many times you were caught stealing.
I think the cutoff point is you've got to steal it at least an 82% rate.
It's gone up in a few years. Used to be around 70% and then to 75. But yes, in today's game with the prevalence of home runs, it's around 80%.
Runner goes again. No throw, so a stolen base for Gonzalez.
And that was obviously conceded there.
Just missed.
It seems to me, Michael, you know, in watching Chad Green in his first half, still good numbers, but he could use a little more mystery again. Everybody knows about his fastball, his high spin rate, a lot of life on his fastball, but he needs to build up that secondary stuff again to get confident in that slider if that's his best secondary pitch, to put a little mystery back into it.
Strike three. And there's a little bit of a difference this year than last. He has allowed 6 home runs halfway point of the season. He had 4 all of last year in 69 innings, so 6 and 45 and a third. Number 6 was the leadoff home run by Brantley.
But generally speaking, you know what that graphic shows you too, and is that there's been a little more hard hit contact off of Green, a little more hitters that aren't being kept honest, that are jumping his fastball, that are looking for nothing else, that aren't respecting his slider or secondary stuff at times. And, you know, that's something that can easily be adjusted to, and Chad Green kind of just needs a little bit of something, a little more consistency with the slider to keep them off of the fastball.
Hitting this intentionally walked. Here's Gomes. Fouls it away. And also what jumped out at me in reading that stat, he's well ahead of the pace for last year. So he's at 45-something innings now. Last year about 60. We're at the halfway point, well, 90-something game. He'll be in the 70s or the 80s this year, so he's being ridden a little bit harder this season.
It's a valid point.
Because the Yankees didn't quite know what they had with Green right at the start of the season last year. They learned it over time, and then they started to increase the usage.
He just threw fastball after fastball by hitters, like the last one we just saw up in the zone. But you're right, the more you use it, the more they see it, the more they're going to react to it.
Fly ball, shallow right. Stanton with the catch. Tagging is Ramirez. Here he comes. Here's the throw. He is safe. A sac fly for Gomes. And the Indians are up 4-2.
Well, bang, bang, everything's done right. Stanton all the way in the air. Ramirez as far away as he can get with the slide.
I don't know if he touched the plate.
Barely, if he did.
I think the Yankees are going to challenge.
But it's not like you're saving your challenges in the 8th inning. But that's going to be hard to overturn. I don't know if you see anything conclusive there.
Yeah, it's hard to tell with the dust whether or not his finger touched the plate, and they are not challenging.
Looks like it got it there. An excellent slide. Stanton's throw just to the first base side a bit. Might have been the difference, but a strong throw all the way in the air.
Gonzalez moves to third. Kipnis stayed at first. Here's Naquin. Runner goes. No throw. Stolen base for Kipnis. One and one. Let's see, there's another look. Did he get it? Maybe the tip.
Slider on the black.
What a dynamic base running inning for Ramirez. Because he needed to make that slide to evade the tag.
If you had hair like that, would you do that, Michael? A little color like Ramirez's hair?
Why not? Sure. You know me.
Well, you did dye your hair once.
Yes, I did. Lost a bet. That is over Higashioka, and that allows Gonzalez to score as Kipnis moves to third, and it's 5-2 Indians.
That's the right call. You don't want to extend Chad Green too much. You start to see fatigue set in when you overthrow that high. Higashioka's not looking for it there. He's looking to try to frame it on the outside corner. Green throws hard. Pitch number 33 here in his second inning of work.
Now, I know the home run did the damage at the start of this inning, but your whole bullpen is available. It's a little odd that they're keeping him in this long.
Well, especially at this point, you're 3 runs down. You mentioned the workload from Green, and then there's always the question of the second inning of work for some of these guys with heavy workloads. That's why they call them high leverage innings. Most of these relievers are coming in with the game on the line, sometimes with base runners. It is the #1 chore for any major league manager now is bullpen management.
Still throwing hard. Strike 3, and that'll do it. Naquin down looking, but the damage has certainly been done. 3 runs on 2 hits, a hit batter, a sac fly, an intentional walk, and the lead was on that one, just eluding the leaping try of Stanton. Bob, Jack, and Ryan bring your highlights and analysis of tonight's game. That's right here on Yes. Well, Chad Allen comes on after Brantley's home run gave them a 1-run lead. And now it is a 3-run lead, so Cody Allen will try to close it out. And the pitch is outside to Bird. Just one blown save for Allen. The game against the Reds was not a blown save. He came in at 4-0, but pitched poorly. Mentioned earlier, Allen will be a free agent at the end of the year, as will Andrew Miller. So this bullpen's going to be completely different next year. And that's why there's a lot of cry for the Indians. If they make a move, get people in the bullpen that will be here past this year. Check swing, did he go? Yes, he did, so Bird is down on strikes. And he does not agree with that at all and has a word with Jerry Meals.
Somewhere in Cincinnati, Paul O'Neill agrees with him. At least check from the side. Well, we've seen that called either way. That could have easily been checked. That wasn't as far to justify just the home plate umpire making that call.
Pitch is high to Andujar, 1-0. Andujar is 0 for 3. Has a 7-game hitting streak on the line. Strike from Allen.
Well, you mentioned Cody Allen in that Cincinnati game. He blew up. He's given up 20 earned runs this year. 6 of them came in that game. That's why his ERA is a bit skewed on the high side, but still a good success rate and save opportunities.
One and two.
The life of a reliever. 10 bad minutes can blow your ERA up for 6 weeks. $19 for 20, as Michael mentioned, in saves this year.
Two and two. So the Indians looking to split this series. Yankees have won 2 of the first 3. 2-2 going into the bottom of the 8th inning, but the Indians put a 3 spot on the board against Chad Green. And now Allen trying to close it out. Swing and a miss, and Andujar down on strikes.
The signature Allen slider that he's known for, straight down, 85 miles an hour, and excellent depth.
Clint Frazier is going to pinch hit for Kyle Higashioka. Out of the Indians farm system, came to the Yankees as part of the Andrew Miller deal. Funny how it works sometimes. If the Indians still had Clint Frazier, he'd be in the outfield every day. With the injuries they've had. But with the Yankees, he's behind a lot of talented players. And that got Frazier, so he will take first base.
You know, it is a bit ironic as we take another look here and just barely grazing Frazier. You're going to take a hit by pitch. That's the way to do it. The Yankees kind of still waiting for the payoff, even though the value is there on the Andrew Miller trade, who is theoretically more valuable than the Chapman deal. Because Chapman was a rental. Andrew Miller still here under control, at least through this year. Gleyber Torres already paying big dividends on the Chapman side of the trade. Maybe Justice Sheffield will be that guy in the second half of the year for the Yankees.
Runner goes. And that one is popped up. This should do it. Kipnis makes the play in front of Naquin, and the Indians win by a score of 5-2. So Aaron Boone's team finishes at 62-33 in the first half of the season, and the Indians are 52-43. So the Yankees and the Indians split this first half ending 4-game set. All-Star game is next. You stay right here. We've got more to come from Progressive Field in Cleveland.